Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In the previous video, we have seen the features of Java, the variables, data types, how to get the output, and how to give the input to our Java program. In today's video, we are going to see some of the concepts of this object-oriented programming language. Java is a high-level object-oriented programming language similar to C++, but with some advanced and simplified features. So those features are: first is object, second class, third inheritance, fourth polymorphism, fifth abstraction, and sixth is encapsulation. So what is an object? Object is a real world entity. For example, you can say it as a pen, a car, or anything. Class, logical entity or a blueprint for an object is known as a class. So what is this logical entity or a blueprint? With the help of the class, you are going to create some objects and multiple objects will be in a class. So it is being represented with a bag here if you can see this. Next is inheritance. In the normal language, what is inheritance? Whatever the property one father has, if that property is going to inherited by his son, then that is called as inheritance. Inheritance here also is the same thing. It allows us to create a new class from an existing class. Next is polymorphism. The ability of an object to take many forms is known as polymorphism. Abstraction, the process of hiding the implementation details and showing only the functionality to the user is known as abstraction. The sixth one is encapsulation. The process of wrapping the code and the data units together in a single unit is known as encapsulation, just as your capsule. So let us see the forms one by one. So let us first go through what is an object and then other things we are going to study in the later section of our videos. The first one is object. Some basics about object. Let us see. Now, what is an object? Object is any real-time entity. For example, I have given a car here. Anything which has the physical presence or physical appearance can be considered to be an object. Object will have certain states and certain behaviors. Now, what are the states? State of an object is nothing but the property, feature, data, or any information which describes that object is known as the state of that object. Now, these states will become the data member of that particular object. Next is behavior. The action or the work performed by that object is known as behavior. For example, if you have considered the car, this car is going to move. Now that is the action that is going to be performed by that particular car. So move is an behavior. So move will be the method. So states are called as data members and the behaviors will be called as methods when we are going to write the program. Another thing we need to learn about the object is the association property. This association is again divided into two: aggregation and composition. First, let us see what is this association. Association is called as has a relationship. Association is one of the concept of object oriented, which is also called as has a relationship. It is a process of one or multiple objects getting associated with one another. There are two forms of this association. One is called as the aggregation and the second one is called the composition. Aggregation is also called as a weak has a relationship and composition is called as a strong has a relationship. First, we are going to see the composition here. What is composition? Composition is a special form of association wherein an association object cannot independently or logically exist on its own without the owner object. If the owner object is destroyed, then the associated object that is there, that also gets destroyed with it. Now, for example, if you see the first video over here, the fishes are in the water. So this is one example for your composition, that if the water gets destroyed, then the fish also get destroyed. That is, the fish is an associated object and the water is the owner object. Without the water, the fish doesn't exist. In the second video, if you see, there is a plant. This plant has the leaves as well. So the leaves are the associated objects and the plant is the owner object. If the plant gets destroyed, then the leaves also will not be there. So this is one of the example for composition. So the next content is aggregation. So what is aggregation? Aggregation is a special form of association wherein an associated object can logically independently exist even without the owner object. If the owner gets destroyed, still an associated object can exist. If you see, this is also called as the weak relationship. You see in this video over here, the first one, there's a driver and the car, and in the second video there are certain employees in the office. Now if the driver object gets destroyed, the car object will still be there, or if the car object is destroyed, the driver object is still there. And in the second video, if you see, there are these employees in the office. Now if the employee object is destroyed, the company will not be changed, and if the company is destroyed, the employees will not get destroyed. If these employees are going to leave the office, the company is going to see for other employees. Let us see the object in detail. For example, now I have taken the pen. Pen is an object. Now the object has states and behaviors, same as the pen. The pen will also have certain states, and the pen will have behavior. Now what is a state and what is behavior? States are the features of your pen, or the data or information about your pen are known as the states. For example, now this is a fountain pen, that is the type. Fountain pen. Color of the pen, it is black and golden. Behavior, what does this pen do? The pen writes. Okay, so this is the method now. So that is the behavior of your object. Second thing, if you see, this is a car. Now car is an object. Object will have its states and behaviors. So what are the states of the car? The states of the car, you can see the model. Model is Audi. Next, what is the color? Black. Okay, etc. What all things you can see here, those are the states. And next is a behavior. So what are the behaviors? So the behavior of this car, it can move forward, it can move in reverse, it can move in the gears, right? So I'll just write a move is one of the behavior, that is one of the method of the car. Then it can on the lights or headlights. On headlights. So these are called as the behaviors. We are going to study about what is a class. Class is a logical entity or a blueprint using which we can create a multiple object. For example, when we want to create multiple objects of the same kind with very little difference with them, we have to go with the class. And no object can be created without class. That is, we cannot create any object without a class. Hence, step 1 is to create the class, and then we have to create the object. Every object works independently. That is, if one object is modified, another object is not affected, or if one object is destroyed, another object does not get destroyed. For example, here, now we are going to take a class car. So this class car has a string type. What is the type of this car? It is a pickup car. What is the color of the car? It is green color. So this is a class that I have taken. Now if I'm going to take the same class car with the same features, what is the type of the car? Micro car. What is the color here? It is blue. In the same way, again I'm going to create a one more car object. This will be the racing car, and the color of the car will be red. So with the same class car, I created 3 objects here. In the same way, if I'm going to take another class called as a bike, so string color is red, model is CBR, and this is so in the same way, another object for the bike, color pink, model is scooter. So this is how you can take one class and you can create multiple objects out of the same class. Now, the states and behavior in detail. State of an object is nothing but the property or information or data which describes an object. Data member is nothing but the data holder which holds or stores the data. There are 2 types of data variables. I have already told you. One is variable and another one is the constant. In the case of variable, the data varies, that is, the data changes. Programmatically, non-final data member is called as variable. Constant is the data member which represents a fixed value. Programmatically, we declare the constant using final keyword. For example, if you're going to write final name spiders, then this will be the constant. And if I'm just going to write the name and Rohit here, then that will be the variable. Now there is a small example here. Now here I have taken the class pen. Now this class pen will have a certain properties, or you can also tell them as state, and this will have the methods. So here let us omit the method first and let us only concentrate with the states. String color is equals to green, the type of the pen is equals to marker. So here how you are going to create a new object? Always you are going to create a new object with the help of a new keyword. So now this is the pen P1. Now what is this a P1 that we have given here? P1 is called as the reference for the P. Now this is the class with the help of the reference you can create multiple objects. Now P1 is one object and P1 is given as the reference. Next again we have used one more reference here that is called as C1. This will be another object. Another one is C2 and this is another object here. If you are going to see the heap or the memory allocation in memory, how it is allocated after creating a pen class, whenever you are going to create or whenever you are going to initialize any object with the help of the new keyword, one container is generated with some address. So with this help of the address, it goes and sits in your memory allocation. Like it is generated from the pen class, and what is that object? It has the color green and the type of the marker, and it is marker type. Again, C1 object is created. C1 object, it has some other address, so that is also created from your pen class, which is also same thing. If you can see here, we have not changed the color or the type of the pen that we have used. It is going to take green color and marker. Another object C2, when you're going to write it with the new operator or new keyword, it is going to create another address and it is going to go and sit in your memory allocation. Here three objects of the same class pen with the same states are being generated. So this is how you can create a new object. So how you're going to create a new object? You're going to give the name of the class. This is the reference. A reference can be given anything of your choice, then a new keyword and the class with two parentheses and closed. So this is how you're going to create one new object. Now if I'm going to take a class car from the previous example, class car, if I take a string color is equals to red and string type is equals to racing car. I'll just give it as RC, racing car. Now how we are going to create an object out of? So it is car C1, or you can give anything, car C, just C also you can give, is equals to new car. This is how we are going to create a new object creation and direct initialization. Here also it is the same example, class by string color is equals to blue, string name is equals to R15V3. Now we have created three new bikes here, B1, B2, B3. So all are same. So the same valued different objects will be created in your heap memory with different address. In the previous slide, we saw that with the help of the pen and the object reference P1, we created a new pen object. In the same type here, we have created a new bike object. Now there was the direct initialization, that is without the object reference. If we just compare it to our previous slide, so this was our previous slide. Here the object creation was done with direct initialization. That is, directly we have given the blue color and the name for all the objects of the bike. Here in the object creation and initialization with the help of object reference, we are going to take the object reference that we have created, and with that we are going to give some object states. So if you see here, the first I have initialized a class, or I have written a class here, class bike. It has two states, one is the color and one is name. In our public static void, I have created three bike objects. One bike object which is B1, another bike object which is B2, and the third one that is B3. So for the first new bike, with the help of the object reference and by taking the property here, that is B1 dot color is equals to black. So I have initialized black, and B1 dot name is equals to bullet. So I have initialized one object reference. Next is I have created another object. With the object reference B2, I have given red and the name of the bike is Pulsar. For the B3 again, by taking B3 as the object reference, color of the bike is blue and the name of the bike is R15. This is how you're going to initialize it using the object reference, and the previous one was the direct initialization. This is all for today's video. For the next videos, stay tuned. Bye bye.